Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great night and welcome to the Diana Wright Show online. Thank you so much for joining me. If you speak French, I say bonjour. If you speak Spanish, I say buenos dias. And if you speak Italian, I say buongiorno. We're going to try to get some more good mornings in and some goodbyes from some other languages that I can master. Okay? And of course, most people around the world speak English. So we say a special good morning to you. And once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we hope we can uplift and give you some good word on this show today. All right. It's February 6th, as a matter of fact. And of course, we're 6 days into Black History Month. And you will see them talking about Martin Luther King a lot and all the African Americans that have made positive contribution to the United States of America. Okay, also reminding you that come April 30th, after Valentine's Day now, before you wonder what's going on, April 30th has been declared by the Diana Wright Show online as the National I Love Me Day. Why? Because I think it is crucially important for each and every one of us to love ourselves and teach our children to love themselves. Because I truly believe that when you love yourself, you can conquer all things. Just the way God promised that if you trust and believe in God and He can do all things, if you love yourself, you can do all things. Because when you love yourself, then the other things become incidental. And when you love yourself, you also bring love to you in an easier fashion. So stop fighting the breeze out there and fighting all the negatives. And just look in the mirror, affirm yourself. Say, I love me, and I'm going to conquer whatever demon, devil, or person that's trying to attack you. So that's where we start today. As you see, the number to call and join the conversation is on the screen, 561-228-1921. And of course, you can send me an email at dianawrighttv@gmail.com and join the conversation. Of course, join us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. So we ask you to keep that in mind. I am starting off today by also asking if there's anyone out there who has a contact or a connection or can do it themselves. Transfer some of my tapes from my old show, The Diana Wright Show, that was done in Jamaica, was shown in London, was shown in most of the Caribbean islands. A lot of people are requesting the tapes, but it's difficult for me because the tapes are on Beta U-matic and U-matic 3/4. So those were the days before digital. And, we got so modern and fast, and we can load things up to YouTube in an instant and all that. So if there's anyone out there with the machine, because it's kind of hard to find the machine to transfer these tapes to digital, I would be so appreciative if you could give me a call. 561-228-1921. All right. I'm going to start off with health today because I ponder, I wonder, I am puzzled. Sometimes I'm thrilled about the new discoveries. But then I wonder, do they really work? There's a new thing that they're calling the Holy Grail of weight loss. Dr. Oz is promoting it because, as a matter of fact, it was right on my email when I opened up this morning. So I decided to share it with you because I'm wondering if there's anyone out there who has actually used this product and it actually works for them. Because a lot of these products, like the other day it was the coffee bean or something of that nature. Does it work? Does it not work? We need to hear people with results, okay? Because I'm a true believer that the only way to really lose weight is eat less and move more. Because sometimes we eat for the wrong reasons. Everybody says you should eat breakfast in the morning when you wake up, but am I hungry in the morning when I get up? Most of the times I'm not hungry. Are you hungry when you wake up in the morning? And should you eat because the experts tell you that breakfast is the most important meal? I try to drink something that is warm if I feel for it, because if I don't, I just don't. So, the name of this Fat Buster supplement is called Garcinia cambogia. Okay, and it's spelled Garcinia, and it's pronounced just the way I said before, Garcinia cambogia. And they're claiming that you just take this supplement and you don't have to exercise and you don't have to diet. Well, I am yet to see something that works without exercise, because I am struggling and I'm exercising every day I can and find the moment, if it's even 10 minutes, because I believe if you do 10 minutes, it's better than not doing anything, right? So as long as you get your heart rate going, I believe that you're helping yourself. Yeah, you might, the experts might say you need 20 minutes or you need half an hour, or you need an hour. And some people try to go 2 hours to try to kill themselves. I'm not going to do that. The 2-hour thing is just not for me. I'll go an hour on my good days, when I'm being a good citizen. Yeah, I'll go an hour. But most of the times you can only squeeze in some stretches and some ab work, and my knees will bother me, so I try not to do anything that is too, jumping up and down, jumping jacks and that kind of thing. So you have to have a personal plan for yourself. A lot of us, we listen to too many voices and noises, but we really need to find what works for us. So what is it that works for you? But some people are desperate, so they'll try just about anything. So this is one more thing that Dr. Oz is telling us that we can try. Garcinia cambogia. And it's being called the Holy Grail of weight loss because they're trusting it, and they're saying it's shaped like a pumpkin, but it comes from the tamarind family. So I am assuming then that it tastes like tamarind or something, right? So if there's anyone out there who knows about this fruit, it's not from here, it's from some other country, please give me a call and let me know a little bit more about this miracle of weight loss and how it really, gets rid of the fat and give you some energy. I could use some energy, especially this morning. Just before I came on, I was getting myself organized, and of course, the power went out and stopped my uploading of what I was doing, and boom, it's all gone, right? So, but I didn't get mad, and I was not impatient. I just said, okay, when I'm finished with this program today, I'll just take my time and start all over. So are we living in a third world or what? When we live in the third world, we're always fussing about the light going out and the water going out and whatever. Well, the water doesn't really go out that much here. They will tell you certain times that you need to, they're lowering the pressure or something like that, or there's not enough water in the lake that supplies you with water. But the power, I think, just goes out too often. And FPL, where I am, Florida Power and Light, they're going to other countries helping other people. Shouldn't they try to perfect theirs before they start helping others? I do believe that. So FPL, please, no more power outages, because there was no rain, nothing was going on, and boom, the power was gone. So if you're in the middle of something on the computer, forget it. It's gone. If you didn't save it. Well, I could not have saved it because it's something I was trying to upload. So there you go. Anyway, that's the rant for that portion of the program. Thank you once again for joining me. You're tuned to the Diana Wright Show online, and we are asking you if you're interested in being a sponsor, or you would like to advertise on the program, or you would like to be a partner of the show. Then you can give us a call at 561-228-1921. That's the number that you see on your screen. And also, if you would like me to come and spread my I Love Me crusade at your function, at your gathering, at your church, you can also give me a call at that number. So we look forward to hearing from you, or you can email me if you don't want to call, because a lot of people don't want to call and speak on the phone. They like emails. So it's DianaWrightTV@gmail.com. For the young people this morning, I want to ask you something that I think should be of interest to you. Should parents and students be told whatever degree you choose to pursue in college, should you be told beforehand how much money you can earn from that degree when you graduate? That is what's being suggested by our goodly, newly sweet Eric Cantor, who has now become, gotten a facelift, makeover, extreme makeover, I think, even though I don't believe any of it. That's one of the things he mentioned that I think some people might agree with. So do you agree that you should know, you should be informed when you go to college and you put that application in and you go for your meeting? Should you be told by that university, if you become a PA, which is a physician assistant, you will start off your income at $106 or something like that $1,000. I think I saw that online last week. Or if you become a liberal arts student who writes, there's no kind of job guarantee for that. Or if you major in what I majored in, communications, arts, and sciences, it's going to be so hard to break into the field that you want to get into. So maybe you should reconsider and become a lawyer, or become a doctor, or become a dentist. Those dentists out there are so many. Wow. They are, and they only work 4 days a week. So that's my question to you. Young people, I want you to truly consider this. Should you be told, or should you just be doing what you passionately love and want to pursue? Because that's what I did. But in retrospect, maybe I should not have done so. But no one told you. So maybe we should be told, and we should know, and parents should be aware that you're going to pay $40,000 a year for your child to go to college, and they're going to come out and then they're going to have to wait tables at the restaurant. Or they're going to have to work for Walmart or Target or some other company that they really did not even consider. Or some of them will just be moving back home with you and do nothing. So that is a consideration. I would like people to take a minute and think about that. And if you have an opinion, or you would like to join the conversation, then you can give me a call. The number is right there on the screen, 561-228-1921. Also, young people, I would like to ask you this. I will ask the adults, but I don't know if they're going to tell me the truth. But young people, do you believe that going to church, just going to church, makes you a Christian? Do you believe going to church makes you a Christian? I'm serious about that. Because I do wonder about young people who go to church and they believe, a lot of adults do too. They will say, oh, I'm a Christian. I go to church every Sunday or every Saturday or whatever. Or I'm at Bible study every week. Or, I go to deliverance service on Mondays. I'm just curious if going to church makes us Christians. We could argue about that for a very long time. And we could also say, like I hear a lot of people say, all the people that go to church are hypocrites. And I remember one lady saying, well, just come and join them. Meaning that you're one too. Okay. So how do you feel about that? And if you miss, because you're at work right now, so you can't call, then later on this evening, we really probably need to pursue this topic. Because I truly believe that a lot of people believe they get dressed up because they really sometimes don't have another thing to do and they go to church. But are they really Christians? Are they really, truly Christians? Following the word of God, and for the teenagers, resisting fornication, which seems to be the demon that plagues our churches and our young people. What are your thoughts on that? Also, I am truly wondering if women can do it all. When you get married, should it be a 50-50 arrangement? Or is it that women are always going to be doing more than their spouse or their significant other or their shacking up partner? Because, we have to include everybody. I believe that it should be equal. But is it ever equal? And is it ever going to be equal? Because women, if we work, we still have to take care of the children. We still have to cook. We still have to clean, unless we're lucky to have a housekeeper to clean. And we still have to iron, which some people hate. And then we still have to be lovers to our partner. And then there are some guys, some men, some spouses, some significant others who believe that if they go out and earn the money, remember, you're earning too, but they're earning more than you are. They're the head of the household. So that's their responsibility, and they're just only to come home and eat dinner and watch TV, and then you clean up the dishes and all that. No, that cannot be for real. Because if your husband comes home from work and you are willing to cook the meal, don't you think that he should at least wash the dishes that he just ate his dinner out of? I would really and truly like us to discuss this, because some women are just so overwhelmed, so burdened, and I see so many women who are powerful in our country. They're leaving their powerful jobs. Yes, it's by choice, because they have to go back home and take care of their families. Most of the times they're teenagers. So is it that women just have to take most of the burden in a relationship? Is it fair? Is it not fair? Is this the correct road for us to be going down all the time? Or do we need to change that? I hear Joe Scarborough boasting and, being congratulated for being an involved father, for, cooking. According to him, oh, you'd love to see me in my apron. And he takes his kids to where they need to go and all that kind of stuff. But how many men do that? And how many men really have the chance to do that? Because Joe, of course, is on early in the morning. So I'm sure when he finishes his show, he can then go home and be of assistance. But why should he be celebrated for that? Are women being celebrated for what they do? I just think the balance is just not there. It's just not there. Some husbands are very good. They will be able to, like my husband, there's nothing that he can't fix. And he will take care of outside, which, I just don't do dirt. I mean, I don't even like dirt in my fingers. So asking me to go out and garden or plant flowers or anything like that is just not in my persona to do. Okay. So he will do just about everything. He can do plumbing, he can do electrical, which is actually his profession, and he can do so many other things that, a lot of people just don't or can't do, I guess. Because, he will try to do just about anything. He hates to paint, but when I put my charm on, he'll paint. So, but a lot of husbands, as I see a lot of women complaining, and which creates a lot of divorces and causes a lot of divorces. Women just say they have to take up all of the burden, and they also work, and their husbands will come home, or their significant other, and just sit on the couch and watch basketball or football or whatever the sport is that they like at that time. So is it fair? Should we rebel? Should we start a revolution for women to get equal treatment? Well, President Obama signed equal pay for equal work. So many women are being ripped off at work, even. You're doing the same job and you're getting less pay. What's that about? I don't think that's fair, and I don't think we should continue to do that. So let your voices be heard. Call up your congressman. Oh, and by the way, today is actually, or yesterday was 20 years since President Clinton passed the FMLA law, which is the Family and Medical Leave Law, which allows you to stay home with your sick children, and that kind of thing. And I am just wondering, are all employers following this law, or are some women being persecuted when they get pregnant and when they leave to go have babies, they come back and someone else has snatched their job? Right? So we celebrate that, and I gather that they're trying to make it a little stronger law that will protect women. So we celebrate that right here on the Diana Wright Show online. Celebration of that. And President Clinton, of course, says that that's the law that people thank him for mostly when he's out and he meets people. They will come over to him and say, thank you so much for passing that law. You've really helped my family. Because a lot of women end up taking care of their parents, and, just in general, because as I heard some guy said today, he said, well, the men will go their way, but the women are normally ones, your daughters will come back and take care of their parents. So we celebrate that. We celebrate women for being the caregiver most of the time. Some men do help, but, most of the times women are the major caregiver in the family, and the chef, and the housekeeper, and everything else. Also, the Postal Service will be no more on Saturdays. So if you are one of those people who are obsessed with Saturday mail at your mailbox, there will be no more mail in your mailbox on a Saturday. They say it's going to save them millions of dollars. So they've decided finally, because we've heard this so many times, years and years, for years now, but finally, it's real. They just raised the stamp price, and now they take away Saturdays. But the post offices will still be open, and you will still get your packages, because the post office now says that the Postal Service is making lots of money from packages. So they take away the service because they're making money on something else. So you don't become, or you are not that important anymore. So if you are dependent on Saturday mail, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. But I do hope that the Postal Service will improve their passport service. Have you tried getting a passport and going to the post office? The line is so long, and you're there for hours, because most of the times they have two people working behind the counter, and they have tons of people, a line grappling around in the post office. I had that experience, and it was not pretty. It was just not pretty. It was just absolutely insane for you to stand online for hours, and I'm talking about 3-4 hours just to get a passport renewed. Because you know that when your children turn 18, you then can't just do a renewal. Like if they're still under 18, you have to literally go to the post office or wherever you choose to go, and you have to do the whole thing all over again and pay all over again. So it's just a taxing experience. You're there on your feet for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5. I was there for 5 hours just trying to change my daughter's passport because she turned 18. And I just thought that was grueling, totally grueling. So for those of you who depend on Saturday Mail, it's all gone, all gone, all gone. And my favorite game, Monopoly, has gotten a new token. That is amazing. Not that I like the token that they replaced, because they replaced the little iron and they gave me a cat. So what does that mean now? I need to go buy a whole new Monopoly set to get that cat? I don't think so. I'll continue to use my iron because I think I have like 2 Monopoly games. Yeah, 2 or 3 I do have. Big one, mini one, in between one. Because it's a game that I truly love, and it's a game that is good to teach your youngster about real estate and money and owning property. And it's a fun way to do that. So the iron is gone and we now have a cat. And they didn't just come up with it by themselves. They actually went on Facebook, had a poll out, and asked people to vote. And the contest was very stiff from what I read, but the cat conquered. That cat just conquered the iron. So the iron is no longer with us, that little iron. So you now have another 4-legged guy going around on your Monopoly board. All right. So I thought that was quite funny today when I read it. I thought, wow, you mean people were really voting for this? Yes, they were. People were voting for this, and voting like 250,000 people, I think, voted on Facebook or something like that. The numbers were big. So people are really, like myself, into that Monopoly thing. I love Monopoly. I've been playing it for a very, very long time. My daughter loves it too, but she hates to lose, you see, so I don't know. She does not like to lose a game. And for me, if I lose, it's okay. If I win, I'm happy, but I don't take it as personal as she does. She will cry if she loses. So you have to use that moment to teach that you can't always win. And if you are an athlete or you're playing a game, someone has to win and someone has to lose. So it's always a good teaching moment for little things like that. So parents, you see, we can use something like Monopoly to teach our children some goodness. Okay? And just not getting a broken heart totally when you lose a game. I'm not sure she's there yet, but I'm sure she's working on it. Because when she loses anything at school, she still comes home with a puffed up face, trying to blow me out of my car. And I have to ask her, okay, what happened today now? Oh, I lost so and so, or whatever it is. So teach our kids. That's a teaching moment. We have lots of those, sometimes we ignore them, but that is definitely a teaching moment for us to teach our children to be good sports and don't be a cheater like Mr. Lance Armstrong and then get away with cheating too. All right. Okay. I was listening to something this morning and I thought I needed to actually share it with you because I thought it was really, really important. Do you ever feel trapped in your own life? And I thought about that for a minute. And there were lots of examples given by the preacher. One of the example was lying in your bed and crying because you think you're sleeping with the enemy and you're not able to get out of that relationship or that marriage. He spoke about your teenager who you've raised taken care of, taken to the doctor, fed, loved, and cherished. And they become teenagers and they just become crazy, nasty, rude individuals. And you feel trapped as a parent because you actually don't know what to do and how to fix it. So the question is, do you today, wherever you are around the world listening to my voice, feel trapped in your own life? If you do, God is your answer. He can solve all things, but you have to go to Him and you have to tell Him. You have to ask Him, and then you have to thank Him. Some of the other things that He mentioned: is there someone in your life that you just can't get rid of, even though you know that that person is actually helping to destroy all the other relationships that you have in your life? They chase all your friends away. They're rude to people. They're nasty to people. And they just simply want you for themselves. And you just don't know how to get rid of that person. Again, I ask, are you feeling trapped in your own life? Are you a pastor who is out there preaching and knowing the Bible and being holy, but you fight with your own demons of watching pornography? Or alcohol is your problem? Or in the case of Eddie Long, the scandal that took place, we don't know for sure because we weren't there. But what was said and told by the young men that they were molested by him? Are you trapped in your own life? Are you someone that's out there that's acting like everything is so nice and wonderful in your life, but deep in your heart and soul you're unhappy, you have no joy, you're depressed, but you're dressed up nicely in your suit and your best dress, but deep in your soul and in your spirit you know you're broken? Well, the only person, the only one, the only spirit that can help us is God. So I ask you again, are you trapped in your own life? Have you ever been in your car driving home and doing it real slow because you just don't want to go home? Because what is at home doesn't feel good. What is at home doesn't make you happy. But don't you have to create and make your own happiness? Are you someone who you're out there and your children have just done you wrong? Like someone I know right now that her daughter just totally made her depressed and down in a hole. I call and I try to cheer her up, because I know how good she's been to that particular daughter. And the daughter has chosen to just be nasty and mean to her mother. So are you trapped in your own life? You can't get rid of your children. I don't know if you can divorce your children. Can you divorce your children? Just the way someone suggested yesterday that you divorce your friends. Can you divorce your children? Or it doesn't matter what, you're supposed to have unconditional love for your children the way God loves each and every one of us unconditionally. I know that there is someone out there hearing my voice, and I am here to tell you that there is hope. It doesn't matter how dark that hole seems to be that you're in. You can come out if you simply trust God, pray to God, have faith in God, and thank Him when you're finished praying, and let Him know you received that blessing. because there are so many of us who have a fake life. Like when I lived in Los Angeles, I would see lots of Mercedes and lots of fancy cars. And then when you check, those people were sleeping in their cars. They had no home. They lived no place. But they had to keep up with the Joneses. They had to show the impression that I am doing so well. Again, I ask, are you trapped in your own life and in your own circumstances? Some people who come home to their own house, park in the driveway, sit in their car, and just don't want to get out, or just can't find it in their heart to get out. And they're part of that household. They're paying that mortgage, but they just can't get out of their car to go in because life is so messed up. And they're coming from a job that is a very important job, and they're dressed in their power suits. But they just can't handle what's home. What's at home? They're just simply trapped in their own lives. So I'm encouraging you today, again, to get out of the blue and come into the green, and come into the only one that can set you free. And that's God. And through his son Jesus, all things are possible. Not some things, not 10 things, not 5 things, but all things are possible when you believe and trust in God. Not in the pastor now. I didn't say the pastor. I said God, because sometimes you're going to church, and people are going to church for the wrong reasons. Some people are going there to network. Some people are going there to sell things. Some people are going there to find a guy. Some guys are going there to find a girl. Some people are going with their hearts filled with deception. But how many of us are truly going to church to seek and worship God? So that's where I'm at. When you go to church, whenever you go, because I don't believe that going to church makes you a Christian. Some people go to church and they're more evil than anyone you know. And they will do things that you will never even imagine to do in your little life. So going to church does not actually make you a Christian. I'm answering that question for myself. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and for you to join the conversation about that. And are you indeed trapped in your own life and can't get out? Who in your life is just keeping you back? Because you do know, you have some people around you who, they claim that they love you so much. But when you check out behind the scenes, they're just there because they figure you're going somewhere and they want to be part of it. And they don't want anyone else to have you. Which leads me to the thought that, a lot of women, when we have men, and a lot of guys too, when you have a woman, you are not in tune to that person until they start looking at somebody else. Like a lot of women especially though, they will have a guy that they think is so horrible and whatever. But the minute another girl looks, they bring out the horns and they are ready to fight. So, should we just be committed to our relationships and do what we can? Nobody has a perfect relationship. I don't, and I'm sure you don't. And do not tell me that you do, because you don't. A lot of us pretend that, I've been married for 50 years and I've been married for 20 years and life has been so wonderful. You lie. There has been times when there were upheavals. There has been time when you hated the person that you were with. There has been time that you were thinking you were sleeping with the enemy. But you got over because you worked at it, or you prayed, or whatever you did. Now things are wonderful. Now things are good. So you shouldn't really look down your nose at anyone that's having problems or anyone who is trapped in their own lives. I don't want you to be trapped in your own life. I want you to be happy, be joyful, be getting up every morning and saying, I love me, and teaching your precious children to love themselves. That's what I would like you to do. And I'm just begging anyone that's in the blue this morning to come out of the blue and just come into the green. Life is not as bad as we think it is, because they always say when you're in a situation, it seems so bad, but the grass is not always greener on the other side. When you are doing well, you feel like you're not doing well. You just want to do more. But just take stock of what you're doing and see that you're actually doing well. And appreciate the fact that you're doing well. When you're successful, some people are successful and they're still out there, saying, oh, I got to do this. I got to get this. I got to do this. I got to get this. Because they don't realize that they're actually successful already. A lot of us, we have a job and we curse that job. But think of the person who is looking and beating the pavement and cannot find a job. What would you say to that person? So, hence, we would like for you to just be happy and be joyful and give love and receive love. Aren't you tired of the bad news? Every day someone is killing somebody, shooting up this school, shooting up that person, this one killing this one, the war in Syria. Oh my goodness. Oh, it is just tiring. And if you read your Bible, you will see in Revelation it tells you that there's going to be a time when mothers against children, fathers against children, brothers against brothers, sisters against sisters, wars and rumors of wars all over. It's right there. It's in the Bible. And it's revealing itself, because sometimes you get up and you hear some things happen and you go, oops, I just read that in the Bible. But there's also another thing in the Bible that no one knows when Jesus is actually coming back. You had some preacher last year trying to predict it and tell us that the world is going to be ended. No one knows, and the Bible tells us so. So we just need to do our part, be good citizens, take care of each other. Like I call my neighbor to check up to see how she's doing. Who can you call today and give them a good word? Who are you mad with that you'd like to pick up the phone and call them? Maybe you can't do it today, but maybe you'll think about doing it tomorrow. Who is going to make the first move? Well, normally I do believe that the person who hurt you should make the first move. I'm serious about that. That's my weakness. I believe that if you did me wrong, you need to call and apologize. Apologize. It's not so hard to apologize. I'm sorry. It's just 2 words. I'm sorry. And then you expand. What are you sorry for? Because you need to say what you're sorry for. You're not supposed to say, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for when you apologize? Okay. All right. So if you're trapped in your own life, we're really gonna hope that you get out of that trap. Especially when it's someone that you know is holding you back. You need to get out and run for cover and be free. Okay, just reminding you of a few things. If you are out there and you are able to transfer U-matic beta tapes or U-matic 3/4 tapes, I would love for you to assist me in transferring my tapes so I could satisfy the joy of some people who want to get copies of my old shows that I did in Jamaica, in London, and in the Caribbean. So, and of course, also here in Florida. So if you are out there and you can do that, I beseech and ask you please to call me at 561-228-1921. So maybe you can do that for me today. And if you know someone, who works at a TV station that might be able to do that for me, I would so appreciate it. I would definitely appreciate that. So, once again, you're in tune to the Diana Wright Show online. We are live every morning at 10:30 a.m. I should not have said a.m. because I said morning. And I know you're smart enough to know that. Or in the evening at 8. So we are here, and any topic that you'd like us to touch on or you'd like to share your experience, let us know, and we'll try to accommodate you. Well, we're coming up on, my goodness, it's already 11:15. Time flies when you're having fun and when you're feeling good about sharing and giving people hope. Because hope is what I'm about. Hope and love. That's what I'm about. Because I do believe that the world will be so much better if we do most and everything in love as opposed to in hate that I see every single day. And then it makes us just wonder, why are we doing all of this? Because you want the world to be a better place, and it should be a better place, and we should be happy if it's a better place. So, also, if you'd like to be a sponsor of this particular show, the Diana Wright Show online, then you can also give me a call. If you would like to be an advertiser or just a partner, you can do that too. And if you'd like us to come out and speak at your function and spread the I Love Me crusade feeling and method and get everyone high on loving themselves, then we appreciate your phone call also. 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, there are a few things that gave me pause today. As I drove back home after dropping my daughter to school, I thought about a few things that, kind of mull over in my mind. I listened to Bloomberg. I listened to CNBC. You just want to listen to a few different stations just to expand your mind or learn something, because I think we learn something new every single day. Nobody knows everything. Why is the economy doing so well, it's doing well slowly, I should say, because it's doing well in comparison to Europe, but it's not doing well in accordance to our society. So our economy is going real slow, but the Dow is trying to reach 14,000. Yeah? I just pondered about that, because I thought if the Dow was doing great, then the economy should be doing great too. I'm not an economist, so I don't know. But what do you think? Why is that happening? And why is it that the Dow will be doing so well, but so many people are still out of jobs? A whole lot of people can't find a job. And you need to have a job so you can buy the products that all these wealthy business owners are putting out or providing. You need to have a job to buy my t-shirt that says I love me. So I'm serious. I am just wondering about that. Why is the Dow doing so well and the economy is moving so slow and jobs are still so hard to find? And I was so amused because, they call it the Dow here and the Nikkei in Japan. And I'm always amused. I know what it is, but every time I hear they say the FTSE, that's what they call the stock market in London. The FTSE. I'm like, the FTSE? What kind of name is that? The FTSE. So even though you know the name and you hear it almost every day, I just chuckle every time I hear the FTSE. So that's one of the things that gave me pause today. And also, what else gives me pause? Why are we hearing so much about oil being found in North Dakota, in natural gas is so, abundant in our country. But the gas prices are going up. And do you notice that when the gas price go up, it's so quick. But when they're supposed to lower it, when things are good, it takes forever for you to see that at the pump. Why is that? Why is that? I would really like to know why that is so. Why do I even hear them talking about, we're going to be exporting oil very soon. So why is it that we are still paying so much at the pump? And it's going up. Because it went up this week. Why is that? Why? We're supposed to question those things. Why? And why on earth is some European countries doing so poorly with their economy? They have like 25% unemployment, 50% unemployment. But the euro, their currency, is so strong. You go to Europe and you feel like your dollar is worth nothing when you get 80 cents and 70 cents for it. So, you go to Europe and you're afraid to exchange your money because you're getting nothing for it. Why is that? Why is the euro so strong when their economies are so weak? And their unemployment is sky high. I just can't figure that out. I would truly like for someone to explain that to me. Well, I was trying to get someone on financially to talk about a few things, but I did not realize that if you work for a banking institution and you have a license that's given to you by the SEC, you simply can't just come on and give your opinion about things unless it's approved by the bank or the company that you work for, because you make the company liable. Wow. I would feel so trapped in that situation. So you can't even call into a talk show and be recognized because you are liable because you're licensed by the SEC. So I don't know. We are going to have to probably find someone from overseas that knows the system well here to come on and explain a few things, like some of the things that gave me pause. Because I'm sure you're curious about it. You probably didn't think about it, but the fact that I have spoken about it, I'm sure it gives you pause too. Why is that? All the oil we're finding and we are still paying more at the pump? When is that going to change? Our economy is slow, but the Dow is high and there are no jobs. And all those rich people, company owners that are holding on to their cash and don't want to hire anyone because they're waiting for Washington to sort out their matter or for Washington to do something. Is Washington ever going to do the right thing? All I see is that Washington, the Republicans hate government, yet they work for the government. And they want to take away your Medicare, and they want to take away your Medicaid, and they want to take away your Social Security, but they have their cushy insurance plans and they don't have to worry. They have their nice pension and they have, security, some of them, when they leave office. But little us, they want to take away all that we have. Why is that? And why is it that the people who are in the Tea Party, are they willing to give up their Social Security and their Medicare? I will guarantee that if you go out there to one of those Tea Party demonstrations where they demonize President Obama and immigrants and ask them, how would you like to give up your Social Security and your Medicare? And if your elderly person, parent, or friend is on Medicaid because they cannot afford to be in the hospital or anything of that nature, how would you like them to throw them out on the street and take away the Medicaid? I promise you that absolutely no one will say yes to that. So why are we doing it? And why are the Republicans always talking about the deficit, the deficit, the deficit? If I hear the deficit one more time, Did they talk about the deficit when the deficit was being run into the ceiling by President Bush and the war in Iraq? Was anyone talking about the deficit then? No. I remember them saying, oh, the deficit is not, don't worry about the deficit right now. As a matter of fact, Cheney, Vice President Cheney did say that. So, what are we supposed to think? How can we trust these guys? Is there a way that we could fire all of them? I think we should. Because they go to Washington and somehow, some way, they forget why they got there. We voted them in. We voted them in to serve us. But all of a sudden, especially those Tea Party people in the Congressional Caucus, they seem like they're there to just obstruct, and it doesn't matter what the president says, even if it's good, it's a no. No go, because President Obama says it. And President Obama is a black and white guy, so we can't agree, because he has that black part there. Why are we doing that? And why is it that we, the people, keep voting for these people to send them back to Washington when we know they're doing a lousy job? Because if you and I did our jobs the way Congress and the Senate, mostly the Congress that is dominated by Republicans, we would be fired. So why can't we fire them? Why can't we fire them? And why do we insist on voting them back in each time? Because they come home and tell you some lonely baloney? And you just vote for them again? Why do we do it? Why do we keep... Here we go. We're trapped in our own lives. That's part of it. Why are we so trapped that we can't get rid of these guys who are cursing the government every day? They want small government. Why don't they give up their job? They're working for the government. Come on. Stop the hypocrisy. We need to stop it. And we, the people, need to stop being so stupid by voting for these guys. We should all strike and say no election. When the next election comes, we should all stay home and no one votes and see what they do. Why can't they go there and work together to solve our problems instead of trying to take away what we're entitled to anyway? Because I'm sure every job that you work at and you pay your taxes, you're paying into Medicare and you're paying into Social Security. It's not a handout. It's not a gift. They're not doing you a favor. You earned it. So, Republicans, you really need to stop pretending. Stop coming out with a facelift. Stop coming out with your soft, gentler voice, Mr. Cantor, who I gather everyone is saying, oh, he's really a nice guy, I have no doubt that he is a nice guy. And behind the scenes, he was trying to work with President Obama to get a big deal done. So why isn't the deal not done? How long are we going to have to wait for this big deal? And now we're on the edge of the sequester. Yeah. And March 1st is going to be another day that we have to worry about. Will somebody in Washington please do your jobs that the people voted you for to go there and do, and stop trying to protect your own job? And if you hate the government so much, you need to resign, go home, and do something else. And that's simply what I have to say. Don't be trapped in your own life, people of Congress, who are being such roadblockers, so negative and so spewing hate. And yet behind the scenes, I gather they're in the love fest, or they're being gentle and kind and trying to make deals. So stop pretending with us. Don't give us the hardcore guy and then behind the scenes you're doing the right thing. Just let us know you're doing the right thing up front. We need no Satans in the closet. We just simply need the truth and honesty. I am just tired of politicians telling me lies. and pretending to give the fighting word. Oh, they say, oh, Boehner has to say this because, he has to satisfy the Tea Partiers. No, you don't. Have some guts and do what's right for the people who voted for you to send you to Washington so that you can live a better life than they do, because basically that's what it is. And you can have a better insurance than we all do. And why are we so fighting that? Healthcare is something that each and every one of us should have. We should not have to worry when we go to the hospital that we won't be able to pay the bill, or you have a nurse or a social worker coming into your room saying, well, Mrs. McLaughlin, it's 45 days since you've been here and your insurance ran out. And you're panicking immediately, and if you're going to die, you're going to die right there. Why is that? Why can't we all have a fair shot, as the president says, and as Eric Cantor was trying to copy yesterday? We all need a fair shot. I don't have a plane to write off or my account in the Cayman Islands. We don't have that. We're ordinary people trying to live, trying to survive, and trying to be happy. And I think the politicians need to stop deceiving us and stop trying to tell us things that are untrue. If you're working on a deal behind the scenes, do not come and stand in front of the camera and let us think that you're not. If you are, just come forth. Yes, you're not going to please everyone, and some of your constituents might be unhappy about the decision that you made. But aren't you there to make our country a better place? Or are you there to just obstruct everything? I truly don't agree that you should do that. But anyway, we're almost at the end of the show, so I just have to remind you of a few things. We'll be back this evening at 8. And we remind you to write the number down, spread the word on Facebook, and join us and follow us on Twitter. The number, once again, 561-228-1921. 561-228-1921. And our email address, DianaWrightTV@gmail.com. And of course, I know you might be watching, but you are calling someone right now to join us this evening. Just tell them to get on their computer, and it's DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Join us and be blessed for this day. Go out and make it a great day, a productive day, and expect great things from God. And if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. If you need to be advertising on this show, if you want to be a sponsor or a partner, or you need me to come and speak and give my love, then please give me a call. 561-228-1921. And to those of you who are speaking Spanish and listening to me around the world, I say adios. If you're French, au revoir. And of course, if you're Italian, I say ciao. And my English ones that I love just say bye. See you tonight at 8.